All right. Welcome in, everybody. We are streaming again, and I think today we're going to try to get as far as we possibly can through Mechanism. Possibly all the way, but we're going to see what all we can do. That's the goal for today, is just to get as far as we can in Mechanism. Hopefully, you are all having a wonderful day. Been a really good day for me. We went and actually got to see some houses today, so that was fun. Drop that back to there. Here we go. We got a lot of our advanced pattern providers. We've got automation set up all the way up to the atomic alloys. But we really haven't done too much outside of that. So none of the other Mechanism stuff has been set up. Specifically, none of the stuff that you're going to need to actually get antimatter. So that's a big part of what we're going to try to do today. Let's see. Wrong thing. At Mechanism. So, I have to work backwards, I think. Really what we're looking for first is plutonium and polonium, which in order to get, we need, I believe it's nuclear waste, which we have to send, what crafts? Isotopic centrifuge. This guy. Fissile fuel. So that's what we're really trying to make. Trying to get fissile fuel going first. From there, we can kind of do whatever. So first things first, let's see how close are we. 256K. I wanted to make like 500 of these. Oh, just short on the dust. That's actually really nice. Certus quartz dust. Now, am I auto crafting? I have the crystal one. And okay, all right. So really we just have to make one pattern here for this. And what we're going to try to do is fill up most of these with item cells to start. Let's swap on over to our pattern provider. Yeah, what's up, Jonathan? How's it going? How are you? Throw that guy in there. Then now, 256K. Make like 600 of those. That should be a good starting point. We should have a lot of those afterwards. I've started a new playthrough to sort of follow along with your progression some stuff, and I was having trouble with. Ooh, I'm excited. Doing so much better in the new world. Hey, that's cool. That's awesome. I realized in my world download, I totally forgot to take off my jetpack and put it in the chest. But that shouldn't really matter because the chest plate allows you to have creative flight. But other than that, I think I got the world download good. I'm not sure if you were saying you were doing the world download or you just started a new one. All right, let's start with the crusher. Let's see if we can't upgrade that crusher. Not doing the world, I got you. So you just started a new one. That's exciting. All right, so we're going to actually do patterns for all of these. Prefer to do my own thing and learn stuff as I go. Hey, I totally respect that. That makes a lot of sense. Patterns, we're gonna fill that up again. Go back and look for the crusher. I think we're basically just going to make patterns for everything in here. I'm hoping I've got the osmium already. That should be easy enough. I think I've got fire essence already too. Although I'm not 100% sure on that one. For real, every time I start a new world, everything is going better. Hey, I mean, that makes sense. You kind of learn from it every single time. That's what I'm feeling like with this one. I feel like the last one I got really cramped and it wasn't really what I needed it to be, but this time it's a lot better. There we go. Okay, so all we gotta do now, and I don't have to fly over here, it's just easier. Just dump all of those in there. Also, the ATM Discord is insanely helpful. That's a thrill. It is incredibly helpful. Very, very helpful. So I should be able to make... that mechanism. We have crushers all the way up to here. So we're going to go ahead. Powdered obsidian. Powdered obsidian? Where's that at? Nope, that ain't it. Obsidian dust should be the same thing, I would think. Obsidian. Obsidian dust. Flux dust. I assume it's the same thing. I just need to check what the pattern was that I made. I agree. So let's go back to crushing factory. What needs the powdered obsidian? Refined obsidian dust, powdered obsidian. It shouldn't be atomic alloy. Is it these guys? The obsidian should be pretty high level, right? I might have to change the pattern or allow substitutes. I agree. It's probably something like that. It's just trying to figure out which one it is. Refined obsidian needs obsidian dust. Yes. Right. So this for here. But it should have... I've got 254 obsidian dust. So is it that my... Which one refines it? This one? Powdered obsidian. So I think it's this pattern. I shouldn't have wiped it all the way, but whatever. What are we going to do? I could have edited it pretty simply. Advance this guy. Because now I actually have to go through and make an entire new one. For that, for the refined obsidian dust in a metallurgic infuser. I want to get rid of that, and it should be powdered obsidian here, right? Is that what we're saying we're using? It's the purple one? Yes. Yeah, yeah, but your pattern is asking for the powdered obsidian, not obsidian dust. Yes. Oh, that actually was the one we needed then, right? Obsidian. Yep, so the obsidian dust is what we want. And we also want to send diamond dust as well. We want to take this and throw that in there. This one goes in from the top, and that one goes in from there, I believe. Well, that wasn't exactly what we wanted to do. I threw the pattern back in the ME system. Pattern. Hey, do we still have that export set up? No. Where did it go then? Oh, it's in my inventory. Odd, but okay. Put that back in there. Let's see if it works now. Crusher. Crushing factory. You next. Yep. That did the trick. That did the trick. All right, so next up. Energy. I'm gonna need energy and speed upgrades for these guys. So I'm going to want to make a pattern for this. Should be pretty easy. And then speed as well. Osmium dust I'll need to make a pattern for. That ought to do the trick. Gold dust should already have a pattern, I believe. Energy upgrade, it does not. Oh, but I'm not going to have any raw. Alright, so that pattern has to be reset, and so does this one. Because what we really need to do is make that. And then also for the speed upgrade, we need to make osmium dust of this one. So those four are good to go. We'll wipe these two. Swap on over to here. Drop them in there. And then I can make a whole bunch of speed upgrades. Why does it have to be structural glass? Thought I made those where it accepted substitutes. Did I not? Didn't mean to do that. I don't want to do that. Go back. I want to go here. Substitute alternate items. But it has to be structural glass. Interesting. Oh, that's right, because it has to be this. Yeah, okay. All right. I'm there. That makes sense. Good evening, John. How are you doing tonight? Find the dream home yet? We did go look at 5 different houses today, 5 different properties, and we did find one that we really, really like. So there's a decent chance we will end up putting an offer on it tomorrow, which I'm very, very excited about. It's already got a barn on it that I can turn into like a whole recording YouTube/work studio, which I'm very, very excited. We got a pattern for hammers if you're doing dust that way. I do have a pattern for hammers already. I'm pretty much just processing through all the raw ore automatically. So this way I can just turn the ingots back into dust. It's already being duplicated. Any suggestions for a stat part to start with? I'm all sorted with resources and power and ready to begin. A stat part. I may be missing something there. What are you asking for? Like if there's a mod that you would start with? Hello, nice to catch you online. I wanted to thank you for your videos. I play right now on all the mods 10. Your videos help me a lot. Thank you. Oh, a star part to start with. I'm so sorry. I should have figured that out. I appreciate you for saying that, Nozzle. That's very, very kind of you. If I was going to start with a star part, the easiest ones to understand are probably the... it's the one that takes all of the mini portals. One is that it is... The dimensional seed is usually the easiest to understand. This just requires a whole bunch of resources and not really that bad to make. And then from there, you can sort of pick what mods you've done a lot with and what you want to go with, and it becomes a lot easier. Like the Oblivion Shard's a lot of fun. You got to go hunt down a bunch of stuff. It's pretty good. I would start with one of those two. Okay, so now that I've got all of these going, I can make a whole bunch of them, right? Iron dust, did I not make a pattern for that one? Iron. Where's the dust? There it is. Pattern. I want that pattern. We'll throw that in here and we should be good to go now. So I do have to restart this one because I accidentally canceled it. We'll restart that one and then go at Mechanism. And we're going to start a whole bunch of these and a whole bunch of these. That way I just have them so we can make everything go really, really fast. Yo, what's up? How's it going? Think once we get a lot of these higher tier machines, why still making dust with hammers and not automating with a Mechanism crusher? because I think it's easier to auto craft rather than running it through a machine. I think that's the only reason why. Like, I hear what you're saying. I could just throw it through the mechanism crusher, but I'm already automating all of that stuff, like you were saying, with the hammers to duplicate it. That, I don't know. That, I mean, that's really the only reason. So this crusher is slow. The next one won't be slow. With a proper mechanism or processing setup, how can I avoid manually having to extract the remaining liquid from those crystallizer things? From the metallurgic infusers, I don't put liquid in. Also, if you set your patterns to be the exact right amount, then you don't have to worry about it. So like the advanced control circuit here is exactly 6 redstone dust every single time. So the amount of redstone is directly correlated with the amount of copper ingots I have in here. If you really wanted to empty it out, like you were saying, you could dump it all. But that's what I would do. Just finish with my quantum computer and assembler. Don't even know what I'm going to do with it. Everything. Hammer's method is way slower unless you use the quantum crafter to do the hammer method. I do. So I have 2 things. So quantum crafters are creating all of the dust and then automatically smelting it down there. It's being exported. And then this is keeping us stocked up on hammers all the time. So we kind of have it automated in a pretty reasonably fast sense. What on earth is taking these so long? Oh, it's the structural glass. Got it. That's fine. Yo, what's up, Torsten? How's it going? What's up? Pie Kid? Pie Kid 34. Welcome in. And then we do have the assembler matrix and the quantum computer, so it is pretty quick to do it that way. I mean, again, I'll admit it's not the fastest way to do it. Especially not, but this crusher right here leaves a lot to be desired, if we're being honest. And that is entirely just because it is completely used up with making all of those 256K drives that we're working on. So let's... we did get the crushing factory made, so I think what we really want to do, put it here, and then we are going to transporter config. Nope, side config. Input is top. Input is also there. That is nothing. Input, output there. I think that's correct. And then I'm going to leave those 2. No, I don't think I actually need any of those yet. You can installers to install the upgrade. Oh, I didn't even realize you could install it in place. I was putting this here because I was thinking some of these were slowing down what I'm working on and I would need to move it over, but it doesn't seem like that's the case. Like, I'm not actually sure what the actual holdup is on these. Steel dust available 5, scheduled 195. So what is actually keeping us from making steel dust? It looks like it's got it all. Where is it scheduled? Is it in here? It's not, nothing to do with steel dust is here. Or here, or here, or here. Is it a furnace? Oh, it is this furnace here? Yeah, and that's entirely taken up with glass right now. That's what it is. We're working on it. We are going to get up to the ultimate one. And then I do have an ultimate crusher there built. They do need some tier upgrades. 100% they do. It's part of the process. So what we're working on today, ideally, I would like to get as close to antimatter as I possibly can. I think maybe getting antimatter may be a little unrealistic given time constraints, but we're going to try our best. That's really what we're working towards, or at least getting the whole process automated at the start. Eject on. Yeah, I do have to turn eject on in order to get it to send back. You're right. I don't think it has any patterns yet, though. But just so I don't forget straight, that's not this one, it's this one. Auto eject. Okay. Thank you. Good call. Good call on that one. Your pattern might be busted for steel dust. Any suggestions on what light source to use for mystical agriculture underground? What I used was actually this glass here, this glowing glass viewer, just because it actually provides a light source, and I did a ring around it. It worked pretty well for me. So I don't think the pattern's busted. I think, like we were saying, it's just that it has nowhere to put it. So we're gonna move it to this one. Yeah, there we go. That's all it was. Excellent. Yeah, and now all of our speed and energy upgrades are working just fine. Awesome. Luminous glass is good too. It's gold edge. Yeah, that's very pretty. There's a lot of glass that works really well for that. All right. Put all those in there. Give me some more energy upgrades. Still steel? I mean, I'll take the two we've got. Certainly does speed it up, but I feel like I should probably just switch it all over. So you're doing mech, that means you're going for a fusion reactor next stream. I don't know, but we'll see. We'll see what I can get to. I'm gonna take these patterns and I'm gonna move them all to here, because I feel like this is gonna work so much faster, especially if I do that. I definitely need the energy upgrades though. Uninstall. Grab those back too. Because this is absolutely... Actually, I think I've got the lower tier. I do. We're still running basic universal... Ooh. We're going to need to upgrade those. A lot. Obsidian is pretty good to contain the wither. It can take a bit of a beating. Yeah, that's fair. It's not like fully wither proof, but it can take a little bit of a beating. Other than that, I'm not really sure. I usually just go underground into a hole and spawn him in, and then he can't go anywhere because he has to break through all the blocks. That's usually what I do. But I don't know if that's necessarily the best option. I've not done bad. Eventually I'll figure out how to set up AE storage and auto crafting. If you're interested, I definitely have videos for both of those things if you find yourself in a pinch. I think I got all of those in there, right? Yep, full on speed upgrades. Grab energy upgrades. What? We're still not quite there yet. Why? Should be able to just do its thing, I believe. I'll put the 2 energy upgrades in there, that's for sure. But I'd like to put more. Mob grinding utils has witherproof glass, but isn't it kind of expensive? I don't remember for sure, but I think it's kind of expensive. You can right click with alloys to upgrade the cable. That's a fantastic point. I don't have to replace it all. So I need, let's say, make 10 of each real quick. And then also put my speed upgrades in there. Then a little bit more for over here. Why are they not finishing? That's odd. Yeah, it's 1 alloy for each 8, I believe. I would, but my world is very young and I don't have a lot of resources. Thanks for the tip. Yep. Mystical Ag Witherproof Glass is good if you have access to Wither Skeleton Seeds. Yep. That is a good point, but a lot of times it is difficult to get to that point. That's good. So that means I've got both of these, which is way more than I need. Get it. Why is it not upgrade? Oh, it's because I'm in the wrong one. Ignore me. I'm being dumb. There we go. I got most of it. That should be all of it. Start here for the next line. I think that's everything. Yeah, it should be it. All right, so then throw that back. This force should be enough to round it all off. There, right there. Perfect. All right, cables should be fine now. Thank you for reminding me. Wait, what? You can just click it with an outlet? Yes, I've done that so many times too, and I always forget that you can, but you can just right-click it with the next tier alloy and it'll upgrade it. I need a step-by-step vid. I've made 93 ME controllers for some reason by accident. Miscounted how many you need for a 7x7. I, right here, have a video planned, hopefully for this Saturday, where I'm going to do exactly that. The plan is to go through AE2 step-by-step, everything that you absolutely have to know, and then the things that'll make your life easier for actually making a full ME setup. So it'll go through the controller, it'll go through all of the things that you need for like automation and crafting and all of that. And hopefully it's helpful. Why on earth these are not working is absolutely beyond me. Available ones scheduled 151. So it's not even making the steel dust. Is my steel dust pattern broken? Steel dust. 10 of it. It's kind of broken. Okay, let's go take a look at it. I don't know what I did wrong on it, but I may not have accepted substitutes or something like that. Patterns, that's iron dust. Here's steel dust. I did not accept substitutes. I think that's going to be our problem. Because I think it has to accept substitutes for the hammer. If I remember correctly. Somebody feel free to correct me on that if I'm wrong. And then I think I'm going to have to like cancel all of these and try them again. Let's see. Steel dust. 30. Next. Start. Yeah, it works now. Okay, so you... Perfect. Awesome. I was at problems using two tools in AR AE. Got you. Yeah, some of the tool things are weird. You have to set it up crazy weird, but it works. It's functional, and that's really all that matters. You can use extra. I was just getting set up in my Mekanism 5X ore, and that tip about the cables would have been useful. Well, my bad. I'm sorry. Bro, I started watching not too long ago, and I want to note your videos are amazing. The quality of the videos is very good. Thank you for the ATM help. I appreciate you saying that. There were some things that I apparently was unaware of on my latest video, so I was a little down about that one before streaming. Apparently, there were some things that I missed with occultism that people who knew about occultism kind of flamed me for a little bit, which is fair. But all I did was pin their comments so that other people know. Because the point is not for me to be like an all-knowing person. There's no way I have enough time in the day to actually go through and learn everything. But there were some people that were very, very helpful. One second, I'm getting questions about dinner. They're very helpful on occultism and provided some extra tips for that one. Apparently, the occultism rituals actually tier up, and there's like 3 different levels of them, and you can make them bigger and bigger and bigger. That you don't have to do a separate one for each one, which is what I thought, because I've always done the bare minimum to get all the mod star for that mod, right? So I was unaware of that. That one. Perfect. Answer dinner questions. So we should be rocking and rolling on steel now. Quick note on the mystical agriculture glass. I've had it multiple times fail on me and actually explode as the wither's being spawned in. Or try to find something else. Hey, that's good to know. I've never actually used it before, but that'd be incredibly unfortunate and a little bit frustrating. It's 4 different rituals, I thought. It is. You're right. the thing is, so this one right here is called Esvius's spectral compulsion. You'll see how big it is. It's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's like a 7 by 7, right? It becomes this. So technically, Strigger's higher binding is also Esvius's spectral compulsion. I was unaware of that, and I thought you had to do a separate one for each one of them. So that comment is now pinned at the top of that video because, you know, I just didn't know. But I also changed the title of the video. Instead of everything you need to know about occultism, it's everything you have to know. Because technically, if you follow everything I do in that video, you still get through the bare minimum of what you have to do for occultism. And the people I was really trying to target with that video aren't the people who already know that this can like just tier up and level up and become bigger. It's the people who have absolutely no idea what to do with occultism and just want to make their way through it. So that's what I said, but you magic mods, I could not agree with that anymore. Tech mods are my my jam. Magic mods are not. But we may try to shy away from those for making videos in the future. But we'll see. I'm doing really good. I do need more space for it. You're totally right. Another tip is you can rename the dictionary of spirits, then AE can automate the book of binding. That's really good. Hi, John. Thanks for all you do, bro. What's for dinner? We're having pulled pork loaded mac and cheese. It's going to be absolutely delicious, and I'm very excited for it. It's faster, and resources are not a problem with ATM10. Yes. Which one was that in reference to? I suggest doing occultism stuff in the mining dimension for its space. Yes, you're right. The problem is I'm trying to do everything here so that people can actually see it. Which is why, you know, I put labels on everything for what each thing is. For better or worse, but yeah, we'll see. Magic mods are for more fun to automate usually, though. I prefer tech mods too. Yeah, I agree. 100% agree with you there. Only thing worse than magic mods is Greg Techish mods. Yeah, you're right. Yep. Okay, so I think we got a lot of the beginning stuff for that done. So what I really want to do is we're going to work backwards. And we're going to try my very hardest to make this more clean than what we did last time. I don't know if any of y'all saw what I did last time for Mekanism, but it was rough to say the least. Like everything was everywhere, and everything was done with pipes. So everything is piped from one machine to the next, and it was quite gross. I posted my occultism miner in Discord. It came out pretty fast. Yes. That's cool. I'll take a look at it. Was it the one that was posted yesterday? I think it was the one you posted yesterday, right? The one that you're using the time wand on? Because that was crazy cool. I had the world downloaded. I just haven't actually had a chance to look at it yet. How many channels are we using here? 7 of 32. All right, so next up. Yeah. I saw the video. It is incredibly quick. So what we're going to do is we're going to take cable, dense smart cable, just make a bunch more of it real quick. And I'm going to run it all along this wall so we can set up some more machines. Time one on Evo goes 256 though, so ATM wouldn't be that fast. That's something I've worked on ATM10, remaining relatively aesthetic and efficient without my base looking like a bomb went off. Yeah, if you saw my last build, it looked like a bomb went off. Like it was quite atrocious. And so that's what I focused on with this build a lot as well, just trying to make sure that it remains clean and organized and still functions well. I think I'm changing my mind on this real quick. We're going to run this at the same... No, I can't. Okay, so here's the problem I have. I did pattern providers on top here. A lot of the items that we're going to do are going to be 1 blocks. So they're going to be just like this. And theoretically, I could probably do another full line of setups exactly like that. Did I move all those patterns? Yes, we're going to get rid of this guy. The problem I have is that they're not all like that. For instance, I believe it's the isotopic centrifuge. This guy is too tall. And so I couldn't put him underneath the pattern provider. So he's going to have to go on top of a pattern provider. But I don't know. I don't know how to do it and make it look good. That's the problem I have. Does anybody have any suggestion? I'm inclined to just start. I didn't realize there was a hole there. I'm inclined to kind of just start with it and see how many devices I'm able to get set up here. Because I think I can do a lot of it this way. I'm going to go one further and run it along here as well. Webstar, please AE2 plus add-ons masterclass video for ATM10. Webstar, first of all, thank you so much. That is incredibly generous, and you do not have to do that, but I appreciate it. Second of all, just for you, okay, we'll do it. Again, we were I have it planned, but I think it'll be able to. I think it'll help a lot with what you're talking about. Because the plan is to use that video to show off these two setups here for beginning. Mention that you can change this to extended and make that bigger. Show you how to make this and this. And then also how these work. In addition, show you how the wireless connectors work. And then on top of that, show you how to use storage buses to connect to any other type of storage you want to do. That's what we're going to try to do. What's up, Hellfire? How's it going? Again, Webstar, thank you so much. Yes, so Mekanism is what we're working on today. Don't think you saw my last... If anybody watched my Mekanism video, it's atrocious. Absolutely awful. What we're trying to do with this Mekanism setup is to make it simple, make it organized, and to make it easy to understand. Those are the three things I want to do with it. We're going to find a way to try and do those things. If you can just do the 2 block at the very end. If you can just do the 2 block at the very... Which ones are we referring to, Jonathan? I don't know what you're referring to. My base so far in ATM10 is 5x5 chunk with 5 levels. Trying to keep everything clean requires so much more space. It really does? I thought it would maybe take 2 or 3 floors. We're on the 3rd floor, and we've almost filled it up entirely already, which is absurd to think about. Like, we still have some extra room for some small things here and there, but yeah, trying to keep it organized and then label it and yeah, it requires so much more effort as well. Universal cables. This is what we want. I need to set up crafting patterns for these. That one. This one. Here we go. And the last one. And then we're going to dump all of those right in here. The problem with Mekanism is trying to balance fast production with simplicity. Mekanism just hammered my space. Yeah, no, you're right. So what we're doing to try to combat that is we are currently crafting 600 256K ME storage components. So we should have way more than enough storage for it. Yeah, that's what these are. These are the advanced patterns providers. And they're going to be used with the Mekanism stuff. The problem I'm trying to figure out is how I want to do things that are not 1 block tall. Are you planning to speedrun the ATM Star? Okay, so also, in other news, I had to figure out a month to do it in. But what I want to do is take a month and do like member goals. Where like I set a certain amount of members and we try to hit that number of members and do goals. And one of the goals that I want to do at a certain number, I don't even know what yet, is to do a speed run of ATM10. Yeah, it's a lot of storage. It is a whole lot of storage. So let me make a lot of those. And then I'm going to need advanced pattern providers. Give me like 20 of them. We're constantly running out of power. Make them flat, put on the back. So you're saying put the pattern providers on the back of them? I went the opposite, hit all my cables for once. It's not a bad idea. I just don't... So the other problem with what I'm doing here is I'm really trying to balance the machine and making it look nice and making it aesthetic with making it really easy for somebody to come in here and understand what I'm doing, right? And we talked about it a little bit yesterday. That's why I have the glass around the soul lava so that they can see the soul lava. That's why I have the lever on the outside of these infusion altars so people can see the lever. I'm trying to make it where they can see the patterns I'm using and what patterns are in there very easily, along with the machine it's associated with. So that's why I went with this. And then all the cables are just in the back so that people can see there's power and cable run back there. But again, it's so hard to balance the aesthetic with like the functionality part of that. And I really don't know if it's the best way, what I'm doing now, but it's worked okay so far. Because what I'm thinking is we just do like a semicircle here, right? Like a half circle, and we just put a bunch of machines with pattern providers running along the top. If you hide the cables in the floor with the glass facades, they can learn about facades too. I mean, you're not wrong, but I kind of want the cables to be seen so people know, okay, there's 32 here. You know, these machines are the 32 machines that I have hooked up to that or something. I don't know. That I may be going about it wrong. Just let people destroy my world when they download and try to figure out what I've even done. I don't even know how it works. That's nice to see them try to figure it out. See, I get that, Hellfire. I totally get that, but the goal is to make it as easy as possible, right? And I don't know the best way to do that, but we're trying our best, right? All right, I'll break all of those. I need to go one further with it. We're gonna go to right there. Perfect. Get rid of power cables and power everything with an energy transmitter. Then you can put the pattern providers anywhere, such as behind the machines. A good point too. Because do I need to put like the energy card in here? That way it runs the power through. And does it have like a power limit? Just do that at the end row, so you can do a cable down and put the pattern provider at the bottom. So you're saying flip the power and the cable. Leave a network tool in the chest with your curio charms. Makes it easy to spot. That's a good point too. It's a very good point. Embrace the chaos. Yeah. You guys are all funny. You all have great ideas. Sifting through them sometimes is a little bit rough. Okay, so what is... Oh, it's going to take forever to make those advanced pattern providers. Okay, so let's start with this. So we're going to have to start working backwards on all of these things. Then I'm going to have to write down the different devices we're going to have to make. But to start... the power thing is if you used applied flux to store power. Gotcha, okay. Yeah, just flip them at the end so it's not the entire setup and still looks neat. How am I going to flip them, though? They're kind of run on top of each other. I don't know what to do there. I don't know. I don't know. It's frustrating. Backwards mechanism is the best mechanism. I think I want to try to keep doing it this way. I want to try. I understand that it's not the best and it could be more efficient. But the goal is really just to showcase it, and I just feel like this maybe showcases it the best. All right. For the antimatter setup, I need to go through and figure out what all the devices are. I need to get my enchanting setup done. I just finished my disenchanting system using actual additions, and now I need a library to store all the enchanted books. I need to do that too, and I also need to make all the stuff that allows you to get that level 15 fortune pick. Because I have most of it, but I do not have all of it yet. Okay, so we've got infusion done. I'm not super worried about that. The electrolytic separator, that's next. Electrolytic separator. But we're going to make some patterns here for sure, because I'm not about to do all of this by hand. All of that's good to go. Put them in here. Make this guy. You know, there are Ender IO ME conduits you can place in the same block as energy conduits or just use ender gates from power? Yes, there are. The goal for this one was to not use ender gates because I used that one last time. The goal was to mostly use these flux points, which I've done. However, I hear what you're saying, and it would make it easier for sure. So that's plugged into power now. The other problem is if I use pattern providers for all of this, it's I'm gonna have to use like IMI requesters to keep a certain amount in the system. Pattern literally everything. Yes, I do. Everything gets pattern. That's why I rushed the assembler. Not necessarily rushed, but that's why I built the assembler matrix as soon as I did. Was so that I could just use it for everything. How much longer on this guy? Dude, it's got a lot left. Running through here. I so wish that there was some way to accelerate pick-wise the circuit slicer. That would make my life so much easier. Challenge myself for 0 wireless anything, no terminals or quantum bridges or flux networks, which means everything has to be thoughtful and where I put. Okay, first of all, that's crazy. All right, can we just like real quick all recognize that is insane? The amount of stuff that you have to put in there is absolutely insane if you have it all next to each other. Like that's wild, right? That is intimidating. All right. If you put an applied flux cell on a disk and insert it, power into AE, use the induction card on the pattern providers to power machines, it's pretty easy. So you're saying an applied. So I'm assuming it's just called a flux card. Am I looking at the wrong thing? My next video is going to be, I was wrong about P2P tunnels because I've actually been converted, how incredible they are. Hey, that's cool. That's exciting. I still haven't been converted yet, but I've heard that they're good. I just have never had a reason to use them. And apply, oh, it's a flux cell. That's right. It's the power cell for power, or not for power, for AE. The energy cell. This guy, this is what we're talking about, right? The dense energy cell, make one of these guys. Again, that's going to take 8 years because I can't make anything right now. But that's okay. We'll let it do its thing. Let me get everything set up in here real quick. I think what we're going to want to do, at least for a little bit, P2P is the way to go, allows you to be so messy. No, not those. At applied flux. So flux accessor, pull energy from the network. What am I? Oh, is it all one word? Oh, energy. So I just store the energy. That's what we're saying. That's not bad. Heavy disk goes into a drive, one word. Got it. I'm there. It took me a second. We caught up. Redstone crystal. That doesn't seem bad. That might be worth looking into and actually setting up. Yeah, P2P subnetworks, like adding one of those 5-socket plug. No, one plug. That's funny. So then we just make the storage cell and the induction card to actually pull the power out. And I'm like, RL, you can keep adding more. Huh. Very cool. Okay, so help me remember, what all do we need device-wise to get to antimatter? Because I know really what we're going here is nuclear waste, or fissile fuel is really what we're trying to make. Fissile. Is that wrong? Fuel? Fissile fuel. Is it here? It is. Fissile fuel. That's what we're trying to make. Uranium hexafluoride. So I'm going to need a chemical infuser. The rotary condensator. Rotary condensator, chemical oxidizer. Trying to figure out all the machines I'm going to need real quick. Let's see. Enrichment chamber we already have. Because I want to try to make the highest level of whatever we make. Fluoride, sulfur, uranium seeds if you don't have them. Oh, that's a good point. I will need all 3 of those. Because I don't think I've made them. But I can just throw them in the... Yep. That thing. The thing that's right above me. This is osmium compressor combiner, crusher, digital miner, purification chamber. Seems like what I'm going to need. A smelter. Chemical oxidizer. Of course, I'm not on patterns. Chemical oxidizer. We need that one. We're just going to take this. As well as the dynamic tank. And the other one, the basic chemical tank. The rotary condensator, that's important. That one is going to need a basic fluid tank, which is also very easy to make. Then we're going to need the chemical injection chamber, I assume. Those would be electrolytic separator. We already have that one though, right? That's what this is? Yeah. Okay, so let's dump those patterns real quick. That is in the wrong place. Pattern. Grab that guy real quick. Here's where we want to put him. I actually do have... I made a diagram one time of how to actually do this that I may go pull up. Head off to bed, but best of luck with Mekanism. Thank you very much, Hellfire. I appreciate it. Look up a flow chart. I'm a visual learner. I like to see the process. I don't know if that helps anyone else. 100%. I actually made one. Let me go find it real quick. Documents. Untitled. Downloads. Pictures. Where's it at? Documents. Nope. I know I used it in my edit. Like I put it along the bottom so that you could see in my Mekanism video. Untitled diagram. Oh, you know what? I could probably put it at the bottom in the stream. That might be a move, low key. If I can find it real fast. Screenshots. I would think it's in here. Unless it's in downloads. Antimatter, draw a PNG. That's what we want. Okay. Get back to OBS real quick. Scene. Add. Image. Create new. Okay. Browse. It's in downloads. Right there. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to put it down here. And then we're going to try and zoom in a ton. We're going to see if this actually works. Oh, why is it so hard to zoom in? All right. There we go. So we're going to start with the chemical oxidizer, then the electrolytic separator. Does that cover up too much of the screen? Do we hate that? Yeah, I actually made this diagram here that shows the whole entire process and finishes up with the antimatter at the end. Chemical oxidizers, item number 1. Let's go ahead and start building that real quick. Got it. So what we're going to do, pick up this one and move it. But this one right here, why is it sideways? Why did it place that sideways? It is just sideways. Unless that's the way it's supposed to be. We'll leave it, I guess. It's fine. It doesn't take up too much room. Mechanism. What was that other one? The electrolytic separators, number 2. Chemical infuser, rotary condensator. Chemical infuser. We're going to need one of these. Energy tablet. Did I not have that automated? Energy tablet. I do not have that automated. Interesting. I would have thought that was one of the first ones I made. P2P completely confuses me. What is it and when is it practical? I don't know. If somebody else wants to answer that question, that'd be fantastic, because I honestly don't know when you would use it over wireless connectors. Ooh, I like the diagram. Thank you. So for those of you who don't know, I work in IT professionally, and I make a lot of diagrams for actual like IT stuff. So I actually use like the same software I use for that to make this here. Why can't I chat? You can chat. You just did. I'm not sure why it wasn't before. I'm sorry if it wasn't letting you before. But yeah, so that's how I made the diagram. Was using the same process I go through for the stuff I do professionally. So the next one was a chemical infuser, and I don't know if I have the pattern for that here. Chemical injection, chemical oxidizer, chemical infuser. Gonna make this pattern. Nope. Where to go? Infuser. Move it. Chemical infuser. Add that pattern in here. Make one of them. It's basically a way to transfer more channels per cable. I use Lucid Chart when I make flows for my job. Yeah, so believe it or not, I use draw.io. Maybe not the best way to do it, but I've used it so much that I'm pretty good with it. PDP basically compresses channels with a PDP tunnel so you can transfer channels with one dense cable. Okay, so that makes sense. So you have to use less sides of an ME whatever controller to get a whole bunch of channels. Is that the only like real benefit to it? And has anybody ever needed to do that? What's your opinion on the most fun mod from ATM10? Most fun. I am partial to Twilight Forest. I know it hasn't changed in forever, but I really like it. What options are there out there? What did I enjoy a lot? I'm going to try to pick something that's new. I really did like learning about iron spells and spellbooks. I know that wasn't necessarily new, but it was cool. And the Eternal Starlight stuff was pretty neat as well. So 32 channel cable can 32 PDP tunnels. Each can carry 32 channels. That's crazy. I mean, it makes a lot of sense. I guess that would be a decent reason for it. Just Iron Things is really cool. I agree. It's pretty neat. Make one main branch cable and everything comes off of it. I definitely see the draw there. I just don't know how often I would ever get to a point where I would need that. Okay, so we've got the first three. So next up is that rotary condensator. Not the crusher. Where is the rotary condensator? We'll make one of those. And then a chemical infuser. Chemical infuser. Start that one up real quick. This hung on. Oh, it's being able to use this guy down here. Chemical infusion works. What is the rotary condensator not? Available 15, crafting 1. Something's messed up with that pattern. Go take a look real quick. Rotary condensator. Maybe I need to set it to not accept alternatives. That's probably right. I'm sure it's accepting some sort of alternate glass that it doesn't actually use. Turn that off real quick, run that through, and we'll turn it back on so I have it on by default. And then we'll throw it back in here and hope that it works. Rotary, nope, that's the wrong thing. Go back. Rotary condensator, one of those, start it up. It's more convenient to use wireless, but PDP is technically more efficient. But no, it's not really necessary to have that many channels. See, that's kind of what I figured. But in ATM10 is not that useful. There are energy cells and stuff, which normally, yeah, okay. So I agree with that. That's what I was kind of figuring. And I'm glad that everybody's got kind of the same opinion as me, because I want to, for my AE2 video, just point out that it exists, right? I'm not going to ignore it, but just point out that you don't have to learn it and use it if you don't want to, but that you can if you do want to. 70% of the way to the star. So far, he only has one control. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And you can get a long, even if you use just AE2 for storage, you can get a long ways with just wireless connectors for sure. Plus, you can use tunnels to move items, chemicals, fluid from one place to another without entering the network, possibly clogging it up. That makes sense. I mean, that's a decent reason as well. So we got to the chemical infuser. Next up is a chemical dissolution chamber and an enriching factory and a chemical oxidizer. Okay. So chemical dissolution factory. This one, dissolution center, dissolution chamber. That's the right one. Okay. Pattern encoding, chemical dissolution chamber. Make it. Good deal. Dissolution chamber, enriching factory. Enrich. We're going to make the big boy. Not that we have to, mostly just that we want to. It also could probably replace most of the other things I have. No, the enrichment chamber doesn't do that. Because these aren't, those are infusers. They're different. Okay. Let's throw all of these in here. Wow, we're really starting to make a dent on our patterns. Look at us go. Let's see. I don't know if you've already used this, but I want to smelt a lot of stuff like glass. You set the amount of sand in the glass pattern to a higher amount. Really, really useful. That's fair. We're pretty much already exporting it and keeping it full all the time, so I'm not too worried about that yet. My base is just really, really large. I have dozens of wireless connectors. One main cable carries a few hundred channels. Makes my life feel easier. I mean, that makes sense. It makes a lot of sense. PDP and wireless can be used to accomplish most things, but PDP is more useful when going interdimensional, such as getting AE access in a compact machine. Hold up, PDP is interdimensional? You don't have to use like a quantum bridge or anything like that? Because that's actually a huge benefit. Figuring out the quantum stuff last time was a pain. Chemical dissolution chamber. I think 4 refined obsidian ingots. Is that not automated? Chemical dissolution chamber, refined obsidian ingots. Need to make an osmium compressor. Osmium compressor. Basic compressing. Yeah, we'll just use this. Does this use that? It does. All right, in the spirit of continuing with what we're doing, we're going to continue to make all of these the best they can. So we'll make all of the compressors as well, so that we can make the top tier one. Perfect. Make sure I'm not missing any up here. It looks like we are full. Dump all those in there. Compressor, one of those. Start it up next. Do you use you do use a quantum bridge, but a quantum bridge can only handle 64 going through. P2P plus quantum bridge 64 times 64. That makes a lot of sense. You can use P2P through sub networks. Good lord. Instead of making patterns for each type of machine, you could just make patterns for the tier installers unless you want less manual right clicks later. I would like less right clicks where I can just say, hey, make the big one, and I don't have to do it later. That's kind of why I'm doing it. I like to do the work ahead of time so it's easier later. I guess put the P2P before the bridge. No, that makes sense. As long as there is a connection, it passes through pretty much everything except quartz fiber. Interesting. Use a quantum entangler from Mekanism for my wireless transfers. Yeah, that makes sense. There's only a couple things that you can't do that way. A very, very select few. All right, so there's the enriching factor. I don't even remember what I need that for. You can toggle to show only available pattern lines. Oh, interesting. Make sure I have the right idea too. Bring it down a bit. Ooh. Jeez, I'm sleepy. Drink an energy drink before stream just to try to keep myself awake too. and energetic and excited. Which one was that? So we got dissolution chamber, right? No. Enriching factory. I need the dissolution chamber next. Did we make that already? This dissolution chamber. Let's make. Oh, that's the one we don't have these for. That's right. So I need to make the pattern for the compressor next. Mech compressor. Got that one. And I'm actually going to put it here. And then that's going to turn this into that. Basic chemical tank with osmium in it. I basically just need to throw in a lot of osmium, right? Am I looking at that wrong? Just put in a bunch of osmium. 0.2. How much osmium? If I wanted to make one refined ingot, how many osmium would that be? But it says 0.2, right? So I don't want to know how to make it. I want to know what things you can do with it. 200 millibuckets per 5. Okay. All right. All right. So that we're going to change this, 5 of those. Should be in here. Osmium. And one of those. For that. Toss it in there. And now, mechanism. What was the one we were looking at? The dissolution chamber? Craft one of those. Sweet. That's functional. 1 ingot per craft. You didn't change the output quantity. You're right. You are correct. But it is fixed now. We're good. Good catch on that, by the way. Good catch. Hey, John, chat, is there a way to automate furnace system in order for ingots to be processed from an ME pattern? Yeah, so I have that. Basically, what we're doing is we're taking all of our raw ingots, running it through a quantum crafter that has all of the dusts in here and is set to mash the dust with a hammer to duplicate it. And then this right here imports all of them into here, and then it gets pulled back in. However, like what you're talking about, if you want to make ingots from dust, all you have to do is put a pattern provider in there and say that it'll use 1 steel dust to make 1 steel ingot. It automatically gets pushed to the device that's next to it. And then on here, you just have to remember to tell it to auto output, and it'll send it right back to here and import it back into your system. That should help you. You need to change the quantity 5, or your system will have a fit. It will have a fit, you're right. Figure out real quick that it was the wrong amount, though. Chemical dissolution chamber, what are we stuck on? 4 of those still? Did not like it. Ultimate compressing factory, that's the right thing. Is it because I took it out halfway through that it's upset? It might be. Let's cancel it real quick. What's this one upset? It's still upset with sand. Cancel that one. Did I make it already? I did fix that one. Okay, so that one's fine. Make one of those again. Try it again. I'm going to have to make that an advanced pattern, aren't I? So that way it knows primary goes on up. That one goes on the east. We'll take that advanced pattern. I'm going to throw it in there. I got to configure it here. Extra, input, output. None. Auto eject on. I think that's all right. Let's try it one more time. I don't think it's working. I think it's stuck again. It is stuck again at the same spot. What's wrong with it? I do believe it's 1-to-1 Didn't want to comment. Is it? But the problem is it's not making any. Could be one osmium and you can get per refined osmium. I mean, we can change it, but it did seem like the ratio was different. Oh, I can't change it from here. I have to change it from in here. This guy. So you're saying this, and then this, and then set that, and then throw it in here and see what it does. You cancel that one. Four, so it's 5, 5. It's just not pushing it in here. I don't know why it's not pushing it in there. Oh, yeah, that's it. There's an item to make advanced patterns. I forgot the name, the advanced name. The purplish item. So yeah, I have it. Check the setting on the machine. So the machine is set to accept the right items from the right side. So the machine is set. Correct me if I'm wrong. You take extras from the left, input output from the top, and that's it. And auto eject is on. This is set to from the should be. We'll double check real quick. Oh, I have to reset this after. Oh, that's a little bit annoying, but probably explains what was happening. Cancel that. Try it one more time. Please, for the love of all that's good, just work. It is working. It's quite slow, though. Let's try adding some of these to it real quick. Yep, okay. All right, so that all works now. Good call. I appreciate it. I didn't realize I would have to reset those after I adjusted it, but it makes sense. Mechanism, enriching factory. I think that's the one we're trying to make. Enriching factory, and then the chemical oxidizers next. Chemical oxidizer, and we already have chemical infuser. Chemical oxidizer. I'm pretty sure we already have one of these. Chemical dissolution chamber, I think, is the one that was making there. I don't know. Enriching factory, compressing factory, crushing factory. Where's enriching in the order of this? Dissolution is right after this one. Put that one there. This one goes after that. Purple one. Where's the purple one? This one. Gonna go right here. This one's gonna go right here. Trying to keep them all in order, right? Trying to use them all in order. Why did you use compressed obsidian? You get 8x yield for your resources. Because it's another step, it slows it down and I have more than enough resources. That's the only reason why. The one machine per item, that was in the extra slot. Machine per, yes, it is. It does seem like it's one per. Although, there is extra osmium in there now. That's fine. I'm not going to worry about it. How close is this to finally being done? It's still working through it. I do think since we're not actually going to use this one, I'll go ahead and cancel it. Okay, so we made it all the way to the chemical oxidizer. So chemical infuser is next. No energy, not yet. We have them. We're just not adding them yet. I'm going to go through each one of these and add them. I'm trying to get all of the devices we're actually going to need down first. And then we'll go through and we'll add all the upgrades in. I think some of the problem with this is going to be that we're going to have to request it instead of it being built up or running through automatically, which is going to be quite rough for making antimatter because you need a lot of the stuff for that. But we'll see. When you're not worried about resources, enriching them doesn't really matter unless it's 100%. Yeah, exactly. If that buffer fills up, AE can't craft items there, so it might be a problem. You're right. So over 5 of them, it made 5 or 6. It has 88. That doesn't seem to quite make sense. Is it because this is like ever so slightly more efficient? I don't even know. Dump whatever's in there and try to craft again just to be sure. Okay. Dump it. And I need to make Obsidian. Make me 10 of those. So that should be pretty easy math to do. Nope. We're good. We're good. Okay, I thought the same thing towards, and I have no idea how we got 88 in there. I'm going to be honest with you. I have no clue where that number came from. Already step up to make refined obsidian dust would probably be fast to use compressed for larger cut. Yeah, possibly. Okay, so we're to here. Chemical oxidizer, chemical infusers next. Yeah, I don't understand what happened there, but if I try to figure it out, it's going to just probably end up confusing me more, so I'm not going to try. We're just going to leave it alone, let it do its thing. It's not hurting me, right? My server didn't work with the patterns directly, so I had to use a chest between the storage and the chest of the compressor. Yeah, you have to use the advanced ones in order to get it to multiple sides. And the video I did on Mekanism wasn't great at showing that because I just using a normal pattern provider with a chest as a buffer and then item pipes to pipe stuff out to different sides. This is a much more elegant way to do it. And I mean, we're doing it inside of like an 8 block by 8 block radius. So highly recommend the advanced pattern providers. Takes a little more configuring to set like the sides each thing's going to go in and then accepting those things from the correct sides on here. But once you have it set up, it's pretty nice. Okay, chemical infuser's done. Isotopic centrifuges. Okay, so this right here is the full setup other than the isotopic centrifuge for a fissile fuel. This is all we need. That's fantastic. Isotopic centrifuge. Let's make one of these. Make a pattern for one of these. My bad. Pattern. We're going to toss it in here. And we'll make one of them. Yeah, I did a keep in stock with an interface and a crafting card. It was just easier for pattern wise in my brain. I think that we are probably going to do that exact same thing. We'll set up patterns for everything and accelerate them as fast as we possibly can. I think we're likely going to use requesters to keep a certain amount of every item in stock all the time. Because otherwise, it's going to take quite a while. I usually export the enriched materials directly, but since I started doing advanced AE, I just use a single infuser for all crafts. I mean, it makes sense. You can. I've got 3 just to keep it logically separated. I know which one goes where. You don't really have to do that. I love how the guide for the advanced pattern provider literally points out Mekanism. Yes, it does. It does. Which is smart. I mean, it's probably the best use for it. So that's going to go there. It's got power. The only thing it really needs is going to be a pattern provider. So I think no, because we're going to need more. We will need a pressurized reaction chamber and another isotopic centrifuge. So at least one more, maybe more, because I think you need another one for other things as well, right? Isotopic centrifuge. So that's for that one. That's for fissile fuel. For nuclear waste into polonium, you need the solar neutrino act. Yeah, okay, so that's fine. So we just need one more of these. Requesters exist. I've never seen those. What? Yes, so they're super cool. They're these guys right here. They're called IMI requesters. Basically what they do is you say, this item right here, I want to keep this amount, and every time you craft it, you need to craft this many. So I use it especially for all the R stuff, so I can keep a lot of essence built up, although it was before taking up all of my CPUs. We can turn those back on now. They're incredibly handy to have. Mekanism does. Off topic, but does anyone know if those occultism machine operator spirits insert items into Fidament Arcanus Forge? I don't know. That's a good question. Too lazy to undo what I did to make them work. I feel that. If it's functional, then go for it, you know? If it works, it works. Why can't you just be fun and cool like thermal and yeah, I agree. But at least they give you all the options, right? You can choose any side for things to go in on, which is nice. Like, you got to give it a little bit of props, but you're right. It is unnecessarily difficult quite often. So I think for the isotopic centrifuge, I may just have to put the requester on top. That's the first one. Pressurized reaction chamber. we will definitely need 1, 2, 1, 2, 3 at least. Pressurized reaction chamber at Mekanism. Pressurized reaction chamber. Where's it at? Here it is. Gotta make a pattern of that one. Not that one. This one. Toss it in here. Why am I holding on to just one random pattern? All right, so now make me 2, 3 of these, 3 pressurized reaction chambers. Next, start that up. The solar and neutron activators are probably gonna have to go somewhere else because they're not gonna be able to see the sky here. Means I'm gonna have to put them somewhere. So I'm kind of feeling like we either are gonna have to make this a full circle, or I do something in the middle, or we do what Torsten said and combine these metallurgic infusers all into the same one. Problem with me doing it, why I don't want to do that though, is because they all use different things. And if I mess up a pattern and or try to combine, like craft several things at once, I don't think it'll work. That's Super Factory Manager. It's this stuff right here where you've got all of these inventory cables and a factory manager that basically has code in it that'll tell it exactly what to do. So currently this is pulling out and putting in stuff into my simulation chambers for me automatically, and then putting those things into the loop fabricators automatically, and then also putting everything into the interface. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Mechanism had an add-on for facades, and yes, I have seen that. All right, I think we're going full circle, or at least mostly full circle. And then I'm going to put that there and that there. Nope, we don't put anything in corners. Nobody puts baby in a corner. Pressurized reaction chamber, and there should be one more. We go right there. So I got all 3 pressurized reaction chambers. We've got the isotopic centrifuges. I need a crusher, which we should already have. 1, 2, 3. So I need a crusher. We have a rotary condensator. I guess I don't need 3 of these, do I? Unless I just really wanted it. Yeah, we're just going to go with one of them. We may be able to get by with just one of them. How are you getting your essence from your mob crusher to your ME, my essence? Are we talking about like XP? Just pushing it into an interface should work. Yes, that is correct. Pushing it into an interface should work just fine. Essence from your mod. Are you talking about hostile neural networks? Because we're pushing it into an ME interface. Yeah, so this thing is set to input, accept the prediction matrices from the interface and output it to the top side. Oop, go back. It's basically putting any of the extra things into the interface and any of the output from these into the interface. That's what it's doing. And then that's hooked up with a wireless connector to my ME system. Okay, so we got that done. Got a crusher already, right? Compressing, combiner, crushing factory. Essence from industrial foregoing. Essence. Am I being dumb? Essence from industrial foregoing. Am I missing something? What essence are we referring to there? XP fluid? For that, it's basically just an import bus. Like I literally just use an import bus at my mob farm for that. Oh, to soul surge? Yes. Okay. So for the souls, for soul surging, there is an ME storage bus on top. So all of the souls are technically stored in here. And you put a storage bus on top to tell it where the souls are. So it can pull out the souls from here, And then all you have to do on the other end of it is use an ME interface to say, hey, grab the souls that you now know where are and put them in here. And the easiest way to do that is to just drag a soul pipe in here and right click. He's talking about the liquid XP from the mob crusher. All of that is just imported using an ME import bus from an ender tank and then is stored in a fluid storage cell. You can see there's two different types of XP in there. Hopefully, whichever question you were asking, that answers it. How do you get resources? Several different ways. Biggest one right now is bees. Second biggest one, hydroponic beds with mystical agriculture seeds. Third biggest one, the one I'm trying not to focus on, is just a normal mystical agriculture farm with an ender chest on top. That is currently how we're doing our resources. How are we doing here? 600. We're down to just a little bit of printed silicon left. We're getting there. Which is good, because this is tiring. Pressurized reaction chamber we got. Rotary condensator we got. Enriching factory, supercritical phase shifter. So we'll need to make that at the end. We also will need to make the fission reactor, whatever that thing is. So here's the question. For the fission reactor, do we make that in our base or not? So I'm leaning towards not. I'm leaning towards that being the one thing. The fluid pipe from the crusher to my ender tank at my mob farm isn't working, so I'm just wondering if I'm doing something wrong. You shouldn't be. Although I'm not using a fluid pipe for it. Actually, I am using a fluid pipe for it. So I'm taking a backpack and then fluid pipe directly from there into the ender tank. This thing doesn't even have an upgrade in it. But you have to have like the fluid upgrade for this. And then you have to right click on here to make it know to pull out of here and put it in here. So really depends on how comfortable we are. The real key is you can activate it until you're 100% done. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Close out of that. So if you have the pipe wrench, I think this is probably what the problem is. The pipe wrench is set to be like configurable. So if you want it to pull from this side, you have to shift right click right there. And it'll pull from this side and put it in that side. That's probably what the issue is. There's a couple things to check. Make sure the fuel pipe is set to extract. Yeah, I agree. That's the first thing I would say too. Fission reactor and a compact machine. Put the compact machine in an area in the base so you can get in and out easily. That is a really good idea. We could like throw it right here in the middle and then put the fission reactor in there. That's not a bad idea at all, honestly. Make sure nothing's breaking at work because I'm getting a ton of messages. No, I think we're fine. Okay. All right, so here's what we're going to do. I am absolutely sick and tired of waiting, but it's finally making the processors. I'm so tired of waiting on this. We're going to set that and do that off stream because that's going to take 8 years too long. And I need my advanced pattern providers now. Want my advanced pattern providers now. So hopefully things still working through stuff. Yeah, it is. It's just got to finish the last few things. Take care of that guy. Actually, at least in the change logs there are no SFM 4.20. I'm desperately waiting for it because I would like to change my builds quite a bit. Yeah, I feel that. Usually make the fission reactor the centerpiece to a room. It sounds really cool too. It does. I agree. It's cool. The problem is if it goes boom, you know? And then you're left with an exploded house and radiation everywhere, and that's kind of a pain. Supposed to be all the way down there, but... So I should have these now. We've got our advanced pattern providers. Nine, and then I think we said these ones are going to have to go here. Connect them in. That's not what we wanted to do. Right there. Put one right here. Got it. The mechanism covers are bugged. Boo. That's unfortunate. Just make failsafes before turning it on. Yes. Yeah, you're right. If they don't make it go boom. Yeah. How do you optimize creation of antimatter? It gets so slow in my world. Well, trying to work on that right now. I don't know if there is necessarily an optimal way to do it. Basically, the bigger fission reactor you have, the more nuclear waste you make, and then hence the more, whatever you want to call it, antimatter you can make. But it's not necessarily the easiest thing to optimize because it just takes a lot of stuff. All right. We're going to drag this all the way back to the beginning. We're going to start making some patterns. So chemical oxidizer, input sulfur, output sulfur dioxide. Sulfur. So I need to make sulfur seeds. 1, 2, 3, 4. Prudentium. Sulfur. Essence. Where is it? Insanium. That's what we're looking for. For Prudentium, and then my seeds. Oh, we're at a prosperity seed basis. I made a lot at the beginning and I hadn't had to make any more. All right, so I need sulfur, fluoride, uranium. FLUOR. Fluorite. Fluorite seeds is Imperium. Essence. Grab another one of these. Got our Imperium. What is it? Default keybind jetpack to turn it on? I don't know. I changed mine. I am sorry. You can look in keys, the keybinds though, and just search for jetpack up the top. Yeah, the fission byproduct is usually the bottleneck, going to be slow unless you make a full when making multiple smack size reactors. Yeah, and that is 100% the only way to do it is you have to make a whole bunch of really, really large reactors. And it's kind of a pain, which is why I'm doing it early. It's V, I believe. H for hover. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, with all the failsafes, it's quite safe. In worst case, there are autosaves. As towards to say, even evil cleft water block for the win. Yeah, you're right. I tried to use sinks last time and it blew up on me so many times. It was so annoying. We got fluorite. Next, we need uranium. Uranium. Yellow cake uranium is made from this uranium. Is uranium essence, which is uranium seeds. So that's going to be 4 uranium ingots and more Imperium. More Imperium. So do I just not have any uranium? It would appear that way. We may have to go mining, boys. But first, we're going to make more stuff. Make some sulfur seeds and get them rolling. And we're going to make some fluorite seeds and get those rolling as well. Hopefully it's rather quick. 4. This one is this one. Perfect. The wall of entangled blocks might work. Can extract lots. I think I'd have to test. Yeah, it's true. I tried using sinks with just the pipes with max upgrades, and that was what didn't work. And caused it to blow up several times. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. All right, 2 seeds down. We just need uranium seeds now. Okay, dynamics with a sink, 1000%. Gotcha. Why did I put them in here? Seeds, this one. And where's my other one? Sulfur, there it is, right there. In front of my face, I'm just not looking. So I kind of want to put them in here. We're going to replace the netherite seeds with this one. What else do we have? Infurium, silicon, Certus quartz, glowstone, redstone. I don't think we need more diamonds. Plus I have that automated elsewhere. So we're going to do those 2 there. From there, I just need to go find uranium and we'll make those seeds. Let's run to the mining dimension, I think, real quick and see if we can't find some there. Yeah, you don't even need pipes for that one. It's just automatic, which is awesome. Did anyone do antimatter production with the B? Just create one antimatter first. There's an antimatter B? Hold up. What? What B? Am I totally lost? The radioactive waste B? Oh. So does this bypass the need? Is it bees dying to radiation has a chance to turn radio waste? So for this one, you need one antimatter pellet first? For what? What do you need it for? Radio... Oh, for it to flower on. So it would make it a lot faster to continue to make it, but it doesn't. Okay. All right. All right. I'm there. Give me a second. We're going to drop down in here. I'm assuming any uranium is going to be pretty far down. Gold. Uranium's yellow, right? It's not far enough down. Oh, there it is. That's paradox. That's not even uranium. Is there uranium in the mining dimension? Or am I on a wild goose chase? Still need the reactor for the polonium. Yeah, you're right. It's green? I know that's emerald. That's emerald. That's Zycraft, right? No, that's uraninite. What am I even looking for? Uranium is yellowish green? I'm looking for this stuff, right? It is like a yellowish green. It's just also not here. I really thought it would have been here. I think it's going to be easier to find in maybe the nether? Or should I just go around ulti-mining randomly and just hope I stumble upon it? Because I honestly don't know what the best solution there is. Oh. Nope, that's still Peridot. What? Do you have a core? I don't have a core yet, no. I could make a digital miner. It would be the first thing I needed it for, and it kinda might make sense to make. Because low-key, I'm thinking this probably isn't going to be the solution. You know, based on the fact that I'm not finding any. There's some sulfur. But that doesn't really do us a lot of good. Here's what we're going to do. Slush home. Ran out of mine ores. MA farm for uranium to feed my extreme reactor. That's smart. We're trying to get an MA seed for it. I just don't have any uranium yet. Oh, I do have a digital miner. Missing obsidian dust and a personal barrel. So that means my pattern for it is probably a garbo. Look for it real quick. Digital miner. Grab it out real quick. And then inside of here, set it to accept alternatives. And then see what it does. One of those. Next. Still doesn't like the obsidian dust. Why not? So I'm sure I can obsidian. Oh, I just don't have a crafting recipe for it. Did I not move it? Crushing factory. Produces one. refined obsidian dust, so I have to have the obsidian dust first. Okay. Well, that was something I missed for sure. Pattern encoding. Obsidian dust, crusher. Put it in there. Make the pattern. Throw the pattern in there. I thought I had that. That's odd. Digital miner. Still missing personal barrel. Thought I made those two. Does it have to be a oh, it's probably that other pattern. Give me a second. Digital miner. Because the bro bit has to have that, and I'm sure it is set to not. Not accept alternatives. Robit guy. Take him to here. Accept alternatives. Put it back in. So now, digital miner. Boom. Let's go. We done E2. I assume you mean AE2? Is that what we're talking about? Have I done AE2? I think I have. Can't believe they made it require viburnity. Yeah, it is kind of whack. I agree. I think they probably made it harder to get than they had to. Digital minder. I have an inmate farm for uranium. Yep, I got that one. How's your AE in dark mode? There's this little button down. Oh, you can't even see it because I've got this. We're gonna. Let me find that real quick. Video capture, display capture, image. Turn that off. See down here on the left? It's the little dark mode thing. Basically just changes the mode for everything. So like if I'm in here, it changes the light versus dark of it. There's just a button for it. E to E is anatom. No, I have not tried that. No, I have not. I'm sorry. I have a resource pack that reverts AE2 textures back to the pre. Oh, really? That's kind of cool. Okay. Sorry. Digital miner. Nah, I'm gonna need a flux point. Flux. Transfer limit. That's the one I need. Always can get confused with which one's which. Honestly, I kind of like the new ones just in general. I think they look sick. Wireless charge. Oh, I got to select the network first. Select that one. Come back. And then I'm going to need all of the upgrades. Upgrades. You and you. And then toss them back. It's full. Okay, so that means I don't need to have the power search on. I do want it to have silk touch. I forgot about that. The noises that they made this thing make are just fantastic. Uranium. So we're gonna look for any uranium ore. Config. Minimum is negative. Whatever, and then max is that. And then new filter, tag. Just look for any of these. I think it's ores. Star, or no, it's star, ores, colon, any, did I spell it wrong? Did I do it wrong? You're saying I can do it like that? Hey, that works just as well. I don't know which way I did it before, but I thought that other one worked. However, that works for me. Start it. Thing is not providing power fast enough. How do I, yeah, I should bypass limit. So I bypassed the limit. Is it still... Oh, we may just be fully maxing. Let's see. No, we still have power. You probably don't generate enough power? Yeah, you might be right about that. Honestly, this is way more than I need. All we're going to do is we're going to set them all down real quick. Mine it with like the Fortune 8 or whatever we have. This one I think is it, yeah. And we should now have plenty of uranium to run through, and I shouldn't have to worry about it again. Years later, you're right. In the case of ATM10, they changed it. A really good change. Okay. Now that we have a whole bunch of raw uranium, come over here through what on Earth? Oh, that's a pattern. I'm stupid. Let's turn that off. All right, we've got uranium now. I just need, no, not those. I need these. Grab them. We're going to bring them over here. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Put that in the center. Then the only task I have is to figure out what I want to get rid of to put these in place. Uranium seeds. All right. Fluorite we need. Gold probably need. Sulfur's okay. Redstone. Third is quartz. Silicon. Emerald I think is the one thing we probably don't. Be okay without that. Okay. And possibly just essence in general, but that's okay. What's the best way to automate dry ice? That would probably be ice seeds and then using a quantum crafter to automatically craft the ice essence all the way up to dry ice. That's probably it. I'm shocked to have enough power to run the digital miner. Maxed out speed with energy upgrades. Yeah, it's a lot. It takes a lot of power to run the digital miner. And I do think I was definitely maxing out what my guys have. But that's okay. All right, with that out of the way, we should have all of the resources automated now that we need. We're going to bring that back up real quick. We have all the basic materials. Chemical oxidizer. Number 1, sulfur and sulfur dioxide. Does it need water? Or no? My thing does not say it needs water. It just says input sulfur, output sulfur dioxide. I do need to autocraft this stuff. So one pattern there. What were the other two things? Fluorite. Need a full one? It does. And then, what is the one we just put in? Uranium? This one. Perfect. All right, all three of those. We're going to throw these into our quantum crafters. That one's full. This one has 2 left. Get both of those rolling. And then this one as well. Okay, so we should have all the raw resources we need. So now we need to make a pattern that puts in sulfur and outputs sulfur dioxide. But by what? Sulfur. Sulfur. I love doing antimatter once, twice was fine, 3 times was tilting, and now it demotivates me to play ATM10. Honestly, after doing it a couple times, it's not that bad. I mean, since you know how to do it, it makes it a little bit easier to do. Sulfur dioxide is what we're making. Chemical oxidizer, so it's literally just this. So one of those makes 0.1. We double check that that's correct. 1 millibucket. Nope. One of those makes 100 millibuckets, which is 0.1. That's a pattern. I'm gonna put the pattern in there. So from here, I do need to get a bunch of chemical cells set up. That's going to be important. So input, output. That's none. That's none. And because this is just input, I shouldn't have to worry about anything else, right? Just energy, one thing in, one thing out. Awesome. So that's chemical oxidizer. Electrolytic separator is water. We're going to get hydrogen and oxygen out of it. Hydrogen. Liquid hydrogen. Is it liquid hydrogen or no? Probably just normal. Decondensator. No, electrolytic separator. This one. So we get water and oxygen. Got to be on the pattern page. Hydrogen. This one. That. Okay, so I don't want that. I want all of these to be at a different level. So this is going to be set to 2. This is going to be set to 2. And this is going to be set to 1. That. And then we're going to make that pattern. And that's going to have to be an advanced pattern as well. So, 2 buckets of hydrogen. Oh, it's just putting one thing in. That does not have to be an advanced pattern. No. It should just put it in by default to the top, right? Is that right? Would be very cool if they added a chemical drawer to functional store. I totally agree. It would make my life so much easier. Oh, I got to put an auto eject on that last one too. Don't let me forget to do that. Eject on, can't eject chemicals, auto eject. Top is output 1, output 2, none. Oh, fluids, input, yes. Why can't I output both to the top? By the way, John, secondary outputs don't count for autocraft, so you should create 2 recipes. Yes, you're right. I do need to do that. Because right now, that's just going to be one for hydrogen, and I'm going to need a second one in there for oxygen. No real need for a chemical drawer since the pack already has chemical A2 storage cells. Yeah, you're right, but if you wanted to use functional storage for all of that and be able to void it, it would be nice to have it functional. Anybody know why I can't do both? Because I want to output both to the top. Watch all your tutorials for all the mods 10. They're great. I appreciate you saying that. Thank you so much. A radioactive drawer while they're there. That might be asking a little too much. But. So, none. Output 2. Yeah, you can't. You can't? At all? Well, that's going to throw this whole thing off. Because I'm going to need to output several chemicals to one side. That is highly inconvenient. Is that, I mean, how do I even get around that? A2 overflow card and storage cell is basically the same as a drawer. Yeah, you're right. That's fair. That's a fair point. If I throw like a pipe in front and pipe it to the pattern provider. Import bus, that's a good idea too. Import bus in front. So we say side config for chemicals. Output 2 is going to the top and the front is going to be output 1. And then we throw... I just need normal cables. Cables. Right there and there. This guy right here, and then put acceleration cards on it. Theoretically, that should work, right? Pipe works. At least let me do that when I want to store chemicals, but I prefer drawers. Theoretically, this should work, right? Because that should just pull it back into the problem is it takes a channel. How many channels do I have on here? 20 or 32, that's fine. Save you a channel if I do the pipes through, and it might actually pull it out quicker to pipes. Just go universal. Grab that. I already have an ultimate one here. And then we'll do that and that. We will set it to pull from here, and we'll put that guy right there. Perfect. And now we're down to 19. Now we're down to 19. Okay. Problem's going to be we're going to have a lot of these. Actually, this is 2 input, 1 output. That's going to be a lot easier because I can then just have it output to the top again, right? Watch too much K-Saw. I save channels without any need everywhere. I mean, that's fair, which is absurd because K-Saw's whole thing is the IMI controller that gives you like 21,000 channels, which is absurd. But you're right. I'm going to need to make this pattern hydrogen oxygen for oxygen. Actually, I think I can make the exact same pattern. I just have to rotate them. Yeah. And then it should just be just fine like that, right? Yeah. All right. I think that's this guy done for now. So that is the electrolytic separator. We then need the chemical infuser, which is this guy. We're going to put in our sulfur dioxide and our oxygen to make sulfur trioxide. Sulfur trioxide. Sulfur trioxide. Let's see. Set it to 1. Set it to 2. Set it to 2. Create a pattern. And then I'm going to need to make this an advanced pattern. And set east face, west face. And then it should output to the top. I think that's going to be correct. So, east face, input 1. Wow. It just knew what I wanted to do. How incredibly convenient. Auto eject. Ooh, wait. Go back. Turn that on. Auto eject on. I'm going to make sure they're on. On. You. Chemical eject is on, which is what it's going to make. Sweet. I just found 4x4 controller slider and P2P tunnel. Say, you know what, that works, man. Hey, I love the vids, man. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Honestly, worrying about pointless stuff like saving channels is one of the most fun parts of modded Minecraft for me. Just like fully optimizing it, doing it the best you possibly can. I feel that. I've been focusing a lot on this, and yeah, I've been doing that a lot with this world, and it's kind of been like a little bit of a struggle, but I feel kind of more proud of the work I've done trying to optimize all of this. Saving channels with subnets, it's like a fun math quiz, and absurd cable constructs are just total fun. Y'all are a different breed for that. I just want you to know. But I hear what you're saying. Sulfur trioxide. So that's that one. Sulfur trioxide's done. Rotary Ooh, I don't want to move all of that. Go back. Rotary condensator. Water vapor. I mean, that's easy. So I'm making water vapor. Water vapor. Hate that I needed. Is there a way to default it pattern encoding? Because I am doing so much pattern encoding right now, it would be awesome. 1. No, go back. 1 set, 1 set. Perfect. Throw you in there. This guy is going to be set input and output at the top. Absolutely nothing anywhere else. None. None. Any block suggestions for a clean, white, futurist warehouse build? That's kind of what I was going for with this one. I don't really know what blocks I would suggest. I used a lot of these Luminax blocks, and they're kind of cool. They're like void blocks, basically. And then I use the painted ones, and it ended up more like a skyscraper. But that's what I used. I don't know if I really have any suggestions necessarily. Anybody else? You know, I heard you like channels, so we put some channels in your channels. That's funny. That is funny. Thank you very much for the subscription. I appreciate that. I was trying to my world, and I cheated one thing and kind of ruined the world for me. I wish I could go back and not have done that. What'd you cheat in? Because I feel that. If it was something dumb, though, like I had to cheat at the end of my last one because the craft literally would not work. The last playthrough I did to get the Alden mod star, there was a craft, and what was it? The fuel from Just Dire things in the dark tanks was just broken, and it literally wouldn't let me. So I had to spawn in the item, which is crazy. But I don't necessarily think that's cheating, especially if it's like something for like it's broken, or it's just something unnecessarily hard to skip, like modern industrialization or something. I get that. That's water vapor. Chemical infuser, sulfur trioxide, and water vapor make sulfuric acid. Chemical infuser. We're making sulfuric acid. Sulfuric acid. Sulfuric acid. That's the wrong one. This sulfuric acid. I gotta switch here again. And we're doing this in a chemical infuser. Water vapor in that. Yep. And of course, we got to reset all of these. One set, make the pattern. That's going to go in our chemical. Is there two chemical? I do have several chemical infusers. We are going to adjust this then. We're just going to put it in there. And I do need to tell it which sides, don't I? I think I do. So, east, west. There we go. And then I don't need this. We're going to remove it just in case we needed extra space for anything else. Hazard block. Yeah, it's factory blocks. I'm sorry. I totally missed that. I'm so like focused right now. It's these factory blocks. There's one of them that you can make and then you have to use like, what's it called? This table. You have to use not the mason table. Isn't it? Is the mason table. And you put it in there and then you craft it to whatever other factory block you want. It's very cool. Early power. I needed the blaze inter wireless power thing. Forgot the name. Gotcha. No, that's fine. It makes it a lot easier. And if it makes your gameplay fun, then I feel like just go for it, you know? I really should have put these in a drawer. I should have put all of these things in a drawer. So there's that. Let me find the uranium ingots. And what was the last thing we made? Fluorite, uranium ingots, and fluorite. I know we're already gonna have some in the ME system, but at least this will help. Because there's no, give me that back. Man, now it's locked to that too. Can I just place this in over it? I can't. I don't care enough to change it. I'm not changing it. I refuse to accept my mistake. Tectonic is the best world gen mod currently. I don't even know what that is. Frozen Joe, cheers. Just finished 26 windmill farm at the top of the world, highest point. Digital miner possible to run. Heck yeah, that's awesome. Custom mod pack has a mod, but no choice but to add the data pack because I didn't want to alter the pack too much. Only added the building ones because I like the builders ones I got. Yeah, that's fair. Okay. So we made it to the chemical infuser. We have sulfuric acid now. Sulfuric acid and fluorite to make hydrofluoric acid, the dissolution chamber. So that's going to be this guy right here. 2 inputs, 1 output. That should be easy. So we're looking at hydrofluoric acid. This stuff right here. Why do I never have it selected as this ever? And that makes life difficult. Do we do the block? I think we do that. No, because we've just got this made. Let's do this. It'll be easy. And then put it in here. Input east, input west. So the item is going to be coming from the left. That's going to be coming from the right. Pattern's going to go in here. Side config. Item. Input. Chemicals. Input. Switch that to none. And then chemicals here is output. And that should be correct and should work correctly. 1 fluorite with 1. We're changing that. Give me that back. That's going to be just painfully slow. So instead what we're going to do is we're going to change this to 1 and set this to 10. And then set this again. And then I now know that I got to reset my sides for that. And then I can throw that in here. Handshake, never noticed any lag on functional storage. Yeah, I don't think I've noticed any lag on it either. Drawers A2. I know that putting a storage bus on a drawer controller in the storage drawers causes abysmal TPS drops. Yeah, I haven't I mean, I haven't seen any. It seems to be functioning just fine. Like, maybe I missed something, but I haven't had any issues yet. All right, we've got the chemical dissolution chamber done. Slide that guy along. Enriching factory is uranium to yellow cake uranium, which is really easy. Yellow. Typing with one hand is less easy. Yellow cake uranium. And that should be as easy as coming in here and item config, input output, and then don't output there. Auto eject. Eject is on. What is that outputting? A chemical? Fluids, chemicals, auto eject on. Okay, cool. Good deal. I like the mod had an issue. A different mod called storage drawers. Glad functional doesn't have the same issue. Yeah, it's good to know. Hey, new to Auto Mods 10. Want to check out how Autocraft the gold chips for AE2. I'm gonna make a video on Saturday that'll give much more detailed explanation. The easy way, use a circuit slicer and a crystal assembler. The circuit slicer will take blocks of everything and make the printed patterns. And then the circuit or the crystal assembler will actually assemble those things into the actual processor. That's the easiest way to do it. Chiseled white concrete looks amazing. I bet it does look really clean. All right, we got yellow cake uranium. Chemical oxidizer, yellow cake uranium. Output uranium oxide, chemical oxidizer. I have another one of those, don't I? I do have another chemical oxidizer. So we can actually get rid of that. Chemical oxidizer. We're going to be inputting. Although I feel like for the sake of not bottlenecking this, I may actually want 2 of those. Chemical oxidizer, we're going to put it back here. So we're making uranium hexafluoride. Input uranium oxide. No. We're making uranium oxide. Okay. Uranium oxide. This stuff. Uranium oxide. Set it to... Oh, God, that's the wrong thing. The wrong pattern. Chemical oxidizer. That's what we're making. One of these makes 0.25, so we're going to set 4 of those to making one of these. And we'll put it in there. And it should just be as easy as input, none, none, and then output, and then to automatically eject. Okay, that one's done. That's a uranium oxide and hydrofluoric acid into the chemical infuser. I think it's probably worth getting a second one set up of. Chemical infuser. Trying to make uranium hexafluoride here. This stuff. Pattern encoding. Uranium hexafluoride. Move it over. This one's going to be 1. This one's going to be 1. This one's going to be 2. We're going to make it. Advanced pattern. Put it in there. We're going to go left. We're going to go right. We're going to pull it out. We're going to throw it in here. We're going to tell this guy for config for that. Input 2. Input 1. And then eject is on. Dare I say it, I think that's right. Okay. Isotopic centrifuge. Input uranium hexafluoride. Output fissile fuel. Does this work automatically? Uranium hexafluoride goes through there, so D patterns, that one. 1. Craft it. And then put it in there. This one, does it have a config? Eject on. can't eject out the top. Well, that's inconvenient. That's the only place I want to eject it at. Nice random tip. Found you catch souls from Forbidden Arcanas and Vengeance Spears and Containment Jars and farm them a lot more chill than automation. But that's fair. Home stretch of completing an Antimatter 2 export pack. Should I spend the rest of my spring break playing? I have no clue. I've enjoyed all the mods 10. I don't know if you played through it yet, but it's been a lot of fun. I've also heard really good things about Ocean Block 2. That one's been a lot of fun. I'm upset that I can't input-output the top here. Because that would make my life so much easier if I did. Yeah, it kind of makes me think I'm going to have to move the entire thing around to the front. Like, pattern provider in the front, which is going to look like Garbo. I'm open to suggestions here. What do we think? I probably could put it in the back. Or I could just make the back the front. Those 2 block tall machines usually can input and output from the top. Yeah, well, it's good to know now. I just don't appreciate it, you know? Like, it should be able to. Isotopic centrifuges. I think what we're going to end up doing is doing this. And then doing this. And putting those there. And then just passing this along here like that. Then should be able to just put that there just like it is until this guy sides from the back. Input output. And then none from any other side. How do I get power to these things though? Because now they don't have power. Good questions here. So this is what we're going to do. Probably what I should have done to begin with. Plug that in right there. Break that one. Plug it in right there. All right, they've got power now. Phantom energy phase to power the I could use an energy transmitter. That's a good point. I feel like it's good enough though, because it's not sticking down out of the ceiling. It just takes the ceiling blocks, and it keeps it looking relatively clean. Also, at that point, I can also break these. Why would it break the fence? Fence. Did I pick it up at least? I think I did. Fence back there. We have a white block. Slap it on there. Slap them back in. All right. So this guy should be good to go with the fissile fuel now, I think. So let's go ahead. We're going to test this out. We're going to grab liquid and chemical cells. Chemical. Let's do this. 256K. And then pattern encoding. Chemical storage cell. And then for the chemical storage cell, I'm going to need this. Should be easy enough to make. FE source, I don't need that one. I've got item, fluid storage. Let's do that one as well. And then dump all those in here. Then I should have 256K fluid at 20. There goes our power. You don't mind me? Give me a second. Pretty sure those are already working as fast as they can go. We just literally not. No, these have so much power in them. Why is it not staying powered if it's got so much power? Bypass limit? Okay, so that's odd that that's the one thing that makes this thing go slow. All right, we'll take all those. We're gonna come up here. So we're doing item here. What's this? Those are infinity. These are our fluid ones. And I'll put the last one there. And then let's do chemical storage real fast. Make another 20. Start it. Did you leave the digital mine? No, the digital miner's not still on. No. You aren't using the block picking functionality from the wireless access terminal. I don't even know what that is. You really need that fission reactor? I do. I need more power. There's no question about it. More power is an absolute essential. Although, I feel like something is, like, wildly bottlenecking. And I think it's this flux plug. Is there a way to, like, make this thing work faster? Or can it only accept so much power at a time? Because these things are still maxed out at 40 million. This is way ahead of me. I barely get diamond pickaxe right now. I'm pretty sure it's a magnet card. You can enable it to put the item you're looking for in your hand like in creative. So I have the magnet upgrade. Enable pick block? Is that what you're talking about? Consider the settings of the wireless terminal. Yeah, I have it. I don't even know what it does though. So let it put in. So is that like if I autocraft something, it goes into my hand? Or look at a block and hit middle mouse? Oh! That's sick! That's sick! That's so cool! I love it. I love it. That's actually really cool. Thank you for showing me that. I had no idea what it was. That is incredibly neat, though. All right, so we've got chemical storage now. More than enough chemical storage. So, items, that one. We're going to start here and fill up this one. So now what we're going to try to do. This is probably a terrible idea. And we'll probably expose how much this is not working. You know what I should do? Give me a second here. These. And then a lot more of them. I don't know how much this is going to take. Energy, that one. So you. I don't have enough to fill that one up. It does look like the majority of these already had energy ones or can't accept energy ones. Maybe? Dude, what on earth is using up all the power? That's not that much. Do I just need to tick accelerate the plug? Or like the cables? It seems like something's not working, right? Quantum armor is an upgrade card. Low-key reaction chamber, maybe? Uses a lot of power. Reaction. It's not doing anything. I hear what you're saying. Like, all of these are charged. Nothing's happening over here. Okay, well, it's working now. Whatever. It might have been the reaction chamber, you're right. Energy upgrades. This one. We're going to do 2 more of those. Ooh, hold up. Oh, we had osmium automatic. Is it not automated? That very possibly could potentially be a problem. Let me make sure all of these are fully upgraded though real quick. I know I already went through a lot of them, but just in case, make sure they're all full. So they all have energy upgrades now. It is mostly speed upgrades that we need. And I need to go get some more osmium. How long do you normally stream for? This is a curse I've caught alive. Usually I try to stream for about, I don't know, 2 hours. But, no, that's cool. But usually I don't have this much to do in a single stream. We've been going just a little bit longer for today, which is okay. But the fact that I just told it to make fissile fuel and it's like actually kind of doing it is pretty neat. Like, I think if I found the ones that were like actually like really working, did a little bit of that on them, it'd probably work faster. And then also if I ran and got some osmium real quick. Why don't I have that automated osmium? I would have felt like I would have at least had a mystical agriculture seed for it. But apparently I do not. Osmium. So let's go ahead and grab these 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 of those. And then let's grab the actual seeds real quick. Seeds. These guys. And we're going to go ahead and probably have to put it in our whatever for just a couple minutes. The hydroponic beds. And then we'll go from there. I wish I could add Project E to all the mods 10. Transmutation table would be so helpful. I have seen a lot of people that did add it and were unapologetic about it too. Like, I think it does make your life just a lot easier. Is this full of something? Oh, I see. I see. Okay, well, we'll make room for that. There we go. We should be making osmium essence now, very slowly. It's not going to work. I do want someplace for it to go. Fine, I'll just make more upgrades. Netherite. Make some more of these real quick. That's not going. Oh, is it my furnaces? Could be my furnaces. They do use a lot of power. Not that much power. I don't know. We're gonna have to figure out a power solution next stream for sure, though, because this is not working. 4, 1, 2, 3. No, give me those back. All right, then I take my osmium essence, and we're gonna put it in this one right here, and then we're gonna grab the osmium seed and we're gonna bring it inside. Pick it up. Oh, hello! I saw your mob drop to XP vid. You should use witches because they drop up to 8 items. That's actually a really good idea. And then if you couple that with adding the echo shards, it can be really, really good. Osmium seeds. I appreciate you telling me that. Come up here to this one. Probably have plenty of that for now. Throw that in there, and then I need to set up an auto craft for actual osmium, so that it automatically gets crafted into the ingots from the essence. We're gonna throw that guy right in here. Turn it on. Okay, so we should have plenty of osmium now. Let's look at feed. Somebody will have to remind me to take that out of there because I don't need an infinite amount of osmium. I just want enough for now. Get some speed upgrades going. Did I get my fissile fuel already? No. What are we stopped on? Crafting sulfur dioxide. Uh-oh. Hold up. Chemicals. Front is output 1. Top is output 2. So it doesn't like outputting to the top? Or is automatic ejection can't eject? No. Eject off, eject on. All right, well that's fixed. Good to know. Hey, how's it going? How are you? Have you tried ATM Arcana? I have not yet, but I have seen that it is out. Oh, what time does the house hunting start tomorrow? Actually, depending on how it goes tonight, I don't know if I mentioned it earlier, we found a house that we actually really like. And so there's a good chance that tomorrow I call a realtor and we put an offer on it. So we may, who knows, by the end of tomorrow, be not only under contract for our current house, but under contract for our future house too, which would be really, really cool. And I would be very, very excited. All right, so we should have enough speed upgrades where I can go through and make sure everything's maxed out now. I don't know which ones weren't, but I know some weren't. We're gonna max all of them out, full speed upgrades. All right. Should be good there. So fissile fuel is on the way. You think it's too slow for like an ME requester? Like if I said to keep 1,000 buckets of it at any given time. Uranium oxide, which one's that? Oh, uranium oxide is full there. Some recipe's not right. Uranium hexafluoride. Uranium hexafluoride. 1 millibucket, 1 millibucket, 2 millibuckets. So we should have hydrofluoric acid in there too. Unless it just doesn't have it yet and it's waiting to put it in there. But it should put everything for a crafting at the same time, right? Right? Am I going crazy? I feel like I'm going crazy. Sulfuric dioxide is not outputting at all. Not enough room in output. Chemicals eject on output. Got it. Well, that would definitely be a solid reason for a bottleneck. Dude, it ran through that sulfur quick. Uranium oxide. Crafting 10 uranium oxide. That should be here, I think. 1 uranium oxide with 4 yellow cake uranium. Uranium oxide. One of these makes that. So 4 of those would make 1. That should be correct. I don't know why it's still trying to craft it. Crafting 10. So I would need 40 yellow cake uranium. Yellow cake uranium, just make me 40 real quick and we'll just see if maybe something wasn't quite right. Seems like maybe the math is set up. Any tips for early game storage? I literally have 3 double chests to my name right now. I'd probably start with functional storage if I was doing this again. Hopefully that works correctly. I would probably set up some drawers like this that can just hold large numbers of certain items that you have a lot of. Plus these drawers are pretty cheap, and as you go along you can add the upgrades in there that will allow you to hold a lot more of each one of those items. And then once you graduate to an AE2 system, you can throw this storage bus on the bottom of it and just have it all in your AE2 system. Probably would do that. Integrated dynamics with functional storage is fantastic early game. Yeah, I've never used the integrated dynamics, but functional storage is pretty impressive. Okay, so did we get past whatever that was? We did. Sulfur trioxide is the one thing that's not being made now. So what's stuck? This makes sulfur trioxide? Uranium hexafluoride. Where's sulfur trioxide? There. So this is not working correctly. Okay. Chemical config on input 1, input 2, output to the top. Input, input, output, input. So it's not eject on. Is it possibly the pattern that's messed up? It is. East faced, west face. Save that. Throw it in. It may have been broken too long. It may have timed out. All right, so we're going to cancel that and then try to make some sulfur trioxide real quick just to make sure it works. No, it actually doesn't work. But why? Input 1, input 2. Do they have to be switched? Got power. East, west. 2 buckets sulfur trioxide. Maybe I have to switch them. Like maybe the sides actually do matter. Input 2. Input 1. It doesn't like that. Finally using integrate for ocean block 2. Went all by hand for all the mods 10. Until LB2 after wondering, wish I'd known how easy integrated really is. Hey, that's cool. Gives you an infinite range across dimensional storage in your terminal. Hey, that's really cool. MVP again. Thank you. I appreciate you saying that. All right. Anybody have any idea why this isn't accepting items like it should from the left and the right? Oh, is it because of that? Hold up. No, energy input is fine. Chemicals. Input 1, input 2. Does it not accept it if it's not from those specific devices? Eject is on, but it's not taking the things. Produces 2 with oxygen and sulfur dioxide. Just put everything into input output. That's the easiest. Okay. But it's still not putting it in. That's my problem. Is that it has that one to make the sulfur trioxide with the sulfur dioxide and oxygen from the pattern. So you're saying go in here. You got the shot. Keep going with Mega. No drives you crazy. Yeah, it is absolutely awful. I hate it more than anything. But we're here and we're doing it. We're trying our best. All right. East face. West face. Am I wrong? Oh, hold up. Left, right. How do I see what direction I'm facing? F3. South and north. That's my problem. I don't know my cardinal directions. Target the north face, target the south face. Pull that back, put it back in there. I'm going to need to do the same with this one real quick. Target north and south. Put it back in there. Does it work now? In here, input, output, input, output. Input 1, input 2. Maybe? No mechanism stuff pattern, right? Mechanism stuff top is pattern, right? Then setting that thing to input output. So this is mechanism, right? And so input, and output. They're all chemicals, so this should be set correctly. The only thing that's not correct that might be an issue is what I think I just fixed. Maybe? Okay, thank goodness. It's driving me up a wall. Fissile fuel. Fissile fuel. Yeah, sure, 110. Let's just make sure everything keeps working. So the problem with what I did is I set up all of the patterns at once, and then with a final product that I wanted, just said go. So obviously we're going to have issues with that. I didn't expect this many issues necessarily. Using AE2 patterns for every single fluid is probably the most scuffed way to do it, but it doesn't matter because it's advanced AE. Yeah, exactly. The point is that I should be able to track exactly how much I can make at once using this setup, which hopefully makes it a little bit easier. Having said that, I think I'm going to put the other chemical infuser back. Because I want like basically one craft per. You know, there's going to be some that have several, but mostly just one craft per thing. Oh, that one's fine though. And then I'm going to take this and I want to put it in here. And then I'm going to go in here and say input 1, input 2, output top. That's fine. And then eject on. Sweet. Okay, so how far do we make it this time? Sulfuric acid. Where do we make that at? That's uranium. Uranium. Sulfuric acid. Sulfuric acid. So I'm assuming that this is going to be the same problem. Oh, that's actually the one I just set up. Side config. Output that. North south water vapor, that one. I think that's right. Input 1, input 2, and then output. Input 1, input 2, and output. So that should be right. Sulfuric acid. But why is it stuck on there? Is it requested it? Scheduled it? Sulfuric acid. Is it because I took it out? Does it make sulfuric acid? It doesn't. So it is actually stuck. So this pattern's not working correctly. Sulfur trioxide, water vapor. Let me double check to make sure this is how it's supposed to work. Sulfuric acid. Just make sure the top is input output 2. You're right. Sulfuric acid. That's not the right thing then. This should be making... I think this is in the wrong thing. With 1 sulfur trioxide and water vapor. Unless... What? Chemical infuser. Sulfuric acid is water vapor and sulfur trioxide. Okay. 1 makes 1. 1 makes 1. Okay, so that... Oh, that's right. Do I need to switch which one's which? So 2 and then 1? Doesn't work either. What the heck? Input output. Input output. It's all chemicals. There are no items, so that doesn't matter. Eject is on. Why is this all so complicated and broken all the time? Just double check. It is the north face. It is the south face. And those are the correct items that are supposed to be going in there. Sulfur trioxide, 2 buckets, 1 bucket. South north produces output, input 1, input 2. I'm gonna speed these up. I just want to make sure it's working correctly. It is. But at least conceptually, it worked. Transportation config. Side config. Eject is on. Input. Input. None. 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 Make sure it's got power is input. What am I doing wrong? It doesn't make any sense. Oh. Sulfuric acid. 100 buckets. It just... Oh, water vapor's not working. Hold up. Okay, so that one should just be top bottom, right? Input output. Put it in. Output it out. So we're not getting water vapor, which is the reason it's not working. So water vapor. I shouldn't have to tell it the site. It should automatically fluids, input, output, and then none, and none. And chemicals are also set to none. But this seems to be right now. Produces 1 water vapor with 1 bucket of water. We're gonna make it here, so put it on the up face of the machine and then put it in there, and then tell this thing on the top, input output, eject is on water vapor. We're gonna make it. Water vapor. Why is it not pushing in here? I hate this mod. Is the condensator on the right mode? Man. Of course it's not. Of course it's not on the right mode. Why would it have been on the right mode? Man. Where's the button? Is it this? There it is. Thank you so much. From the bottom of my heart. Thank you so much. I was struggling so much with this thing. Thank you. I appreciate it. I've got to fix my power. We gotta bypass limit, power surge. Sure. Do all of it. Okay, so we're getting our water vapor now. Man. Woof. Yes, it was that. And now, theoretically, we should be able to get sulfuric acid again, too. Oh, which means this should actually start work. So water vapor works, sulfuric acid should now work, hydrofluoric acid, uranium hexafluoride, and then it should make the fissile fuel. Thank goodness, man. I thought I was going crazy for a second there. I really did. Always seems to be in the wrong mode no matter what you're trying to make. Certainly. It certainly seems that way. I'm so glad I was streaming while I was trying to do that. If I had tried to do that while I wasn't streaming, I would have sat there and banged my head against the table for probably an hour. I think we're running into some sort of issue with flux networks because I don't think we're getting power to places fast enough. Is there a way to make this flux plug? If I add a second flux plug, actually, is that going to do anything for me? It just seems like we've reached the peak of what that one can do. Bypass limit, power surge, sure. And then add some zeros here. And then, hey, it does look like we're actually maybe pulling some more out. Rotary condensator is the machine equivalent of a USB connector. Yes, it is. I'm too high. Get on here. All right. Water vapor thermal's done. Almost done. I think the power transfer is fine. Look at the buffer. Does your AET system have power? I don't. Does the flux point power have power surge on? It does. Surge is on. Bypass limit is on. And it does look like we're doing okay now. Okay. We got the water vapor. Which means I'm going to cancel that. I'm going to cancel that. We're going back to fissile fuel. Fissile fuel. 1000. Start it. Go. This one's working. We're getting sulfuric acid. This one's working. We're getting whatever that makes. All right. You can actually make that go faster. So far, so good. Our uranium hexafluoride is going to be our next big. I wonder if it works, but hopefully it does. Definitely worth putting a dense cell or two on your AE2 system, just since your power gen is going to rely on your ME system to be fueled. Yeah, that's fair. That's a very fair point. But if we could get to fully automated fissile fuel tonight, I would be so incredibly happy. Make sure this thing's got all its upgrades. Why doesn't it have any upgrades? Oh, because I just put it down. Duh. Deck of each. I just decided it was worth putting another one in here. So that should be rocking and rolling now. Not enough energy to operate. Gotcha. That's a lot of fun. But when it is operating, it goes faster. We're getting there. We're getting really close. Yeah. Dude, this guy's been dragging on. What are those fences and light blocks you have in that building? Also, thank you for the tutorial. Saved me so much time. First of all, thank you so much for saying thank you. I appreciate that. I make them to try to be as helpful as I can. The fences... Hydrofluoric acid. Where's that at? This one? Hydrofluoric acid. This guy is sulfuric acid and fluorite. Something's broken here. 10 fluorite, 1 bucket of sulfuric acid. They are called Luminax blocks. The fences are the framed blocks that have the white Luminax blocks in them. So that's what they are. Is there a way to put functional storage upgrade in every drawer all at once? Not that I know of. I think this pattern's bad though. Hydrofluoric acid. Let's go look at that one real quick. Hydrofluoric acid. This one, 0.1 to 1. 0.1 to 1 makes 1,000 millibar. Oh, that's what it. Give me a second here. I can fix this. 1,000 to 1. Whoa. Oh, that's the wrong thing. So 10 times that is 1. And it should make 10 buckets, I think, not just one. Hydrofluoric acid is this one. So 0.1, 1, and actually 1. So I need to make this 10 and come back. Hydrofluoric acid. 10. Set. Will you add your world download in future? Yeah, there's actually a world download in Discord if you're interested. And I do that. I do have a world download. So you're more than welcome to check that out if you want to. Throw that in here. East, west. And it makes 10 hydrofluoric acid. Okay, sweet. Put that in there, and we're just going to pull everything out. I don't know if there's is there a way to dump this? Put fluoride in. But it's not putting the sulfuric acid in. Why are we not adding sulfuric acid? Is that still wrong? Thank you. I'll do the shot. Got 100. Ooh, geez, that's a lot of drawers. Do it manually. Why is this not working right? Hydrofluoric acid, 10 fluorite, 1 bucket sulfuric acid. Makes 10 hydrofluoric acid. That it should be right. That should be... It should be correct. Maybe I have to cancel and restart. Cancel. Something's still so wrong about that. Hydrofluoric acid. 0.1 plus 1 equals 1. That would mean 1 plus 10 equals 10. Right? That math has to be correct. East face, west face. So items, inputted from the east. Why is everything so difficult tonight? Chemicals are inputted from the right, and we're outputting chemicals to the top. All of that works correctly. All of that is functioning exactly like it should. It's just not putting the right number of the things in here. Putting in way too much fluorite for some reason. Is the thing in this wrong? I don't even think it's an error like the concentrator, just mechanism being mechanism. It could be, but something in the math. Something in the math is just wrong, because the problem is just that that's getting full. Because it keeps running. Is this just wrong? Is the hydrofluoric one just wrong? 9. Do a block, which would be 9. Makes 9 millibuckets. 1,000 millibuckets is a bucket. Right? Right? So 1 plus 1 equals 10. What? What is wrong? Make 100 of it. It's using too much sulfuric acid. I'm not giving it enough sulfuric acid, so we're just going to change it. That's what we're going to do. We are going to change the pattern and add more sulfuric acid. Bump it up to 10. You know? That's what we're doing. That's exactly what we're doing. We're changing it up to 1, 1, and 1, basically. That's all still right. That in there. Why is that wrong? Yeah, so we're gonna cancel this. Cancel this. Go back. Hydrofluoric acid. Make me 100. Oh, it's full already. I think it's right. I think it's 1, 1, and 1. Why? It's not. It still doesn't have enough sulfuric acid. How much more is it supposed to make? We should be able to figure out the actual ratio. Back to game C. Sulfuric acid. We're making this. It's still supposed to craft 35 more. We have the correct amount of fluorite. So out of 100, it's 35 short. Where's it going? Where is it going? Is there another place it could be outputting to? Chemical config, output is here. Is it because it's not inputting? Eject off. Oh, that's for items. I don't give a crap about items. Looking at the wrong thing anyways. Man, I'm driving myself up a wall. Input left, output up. Do you have chemical upgrades in it? No. No, we have energy and speed upgrades. That's it. Is there something in the corner? I don't think no, there's nothing in the corner. And this one here, side config. Oh, hold up. No, that's an input. That's an input, not an output. But that might be the problem. I don't think it would be, though. As long as I'm not outputting it to that side, right? Chemicals is an input there. Right? Why is everything being goofy? Hydrofluoric acid. What if we did this? Let's adjust the pattern, make it like 13. Do I just have a whole bunch of sulfuric acid now laying in my system? Sulfuric. I do think it's coming back here. I just don't know from where or how. Maybe let's do this. Put the pattern back in. Get all of this out of here. The bottom graphs. Yeah, no, there's literally, it's wood. Light gray planks at the bottom, right? Side config chemicals. It's just these light gray painted planks. What we're going to do. Sulfuric acid. We're going to make 200 of these. Oh, I didn't want the sulfuric acid. I wanted the hydrofluoric acid. Hydrofluoric acid. This stuff. Make it like 400 of those. So it's making this, right? Sulfuric acid's in there. Not pushing it to there. Not pushing it to here. I can't tell what's going in there. That's just that. Dude, add the items manually and check how much it produces. That's a good idea. It's actually a really good idea. Or how much it takes to produce. Because all of this is correct, and it's not putting anything in here, which is the only item next to it that it could be. It's still putting in too much fluorite for how much sulfuric acid it's using. I mean, speed is fine. Energy is chemical. Increases the efficiency of chemical using machinery. Do I need to do that? If I max it out, then could it be the right amount? Even add what, put it in and see if it drains away. That's a good point. I mean, but like if I can pull this out, it doesn't drain. It stays there. And it works once I add the sulfuric acid. It's just the wrong ratio. That's weird. Maybe the recipe accounts for full chemical upgrades. That's not a bad idea. Chemical. How do you spell that? Chemical upgrades? These guys. We're gonna make this dude real quick. Hopefully this is it. What's the only odd thing to me, right? Why would it do it for just this one and none of the other things we've done so far? That's the only part that doesn't really make sense to me. Steel ingots. It should work fine. Unless our entire power system's down. Yeah, it is. Alright, grab these chemical upgrades. Add them. Let's change our pattern back real quick. What it started at, which was 10 of those, 1 of those, make 10 of that. Set it. Put it back in there. Please work, please work, please work, please work, please work. Hydrofluoric acid, 100, start. Maybe it was just too full already? Possibly? Perchance? You had it set for 10 buckets. Yes! Because it wasn't working the other way. It's using too much sulfuric acid. That's the problem. The machine was not empty. Not before I started this time, no. It had some of both. Hold up, did it work though? Did we get it all? It worked. It worked! We got it all. Thank goodness. Okay. I think we should be okay now. Let's come back here. I just want to get this one thing automated, please. Hydrofluoric acid, we should be fine. Everything, it should be the exact correct ratio. I don't know why it has to account for it being all the way upgraded with chemical upgrades. That's so weird. But it definitely does work now. Which is awesome. Scheduled uranium hexafluoride. Which is going to be this one. I need to drain all of that out. Is there a dump button? Do we know if there's a dump button? If it's got something in it, can I dump it? AI bug. The rest is done. Yeah, okay. I think you're right, but it's an annoying bug, right? I get to gauge dropping. I don't even know what that is. Okay, chemicals. Reset it via shapeless craft. So just pick it up. Do that. Mechanism. Which one was that? What did I just drop? The one right before the fission reactor. Isotopic. Nope. Chemical infuser. Chemical infuser. And then reset. Set it down. Come in here. Input 1. Input 2. I tried to shapeless craft and it still got it all in there. I broke it, but it still got it. How do I get it all out? Why is everything difficult? Okay, left shift. Energy 8. It was. We fixed it, but it was. This thing was outputting to it. It no longer is outputting to it. But the problem is it just has probably, yeah, it was ejecting to the side, yes. But I just need to know if there's a, can I output that into, am I gonna have to break it and put it into the ME system? I just want to finish this. Shapeless craft. Shape. How do I shapeless craft? What does that mean? Am I doing something wrong? Because I'm taking the item and we're throwing it through a craft, right? Gauge dropper can grab the fluid out. I might have to do this, but this is not resetting it at all. Because it still has everything in it. So I'm going to have to find some way of getting it out of there. Give me a 10. 16 buckets. How many buckets does it have in there? 10. Does that not work? I really figured that would work. Oh, it's not a fluid, it's chemicals. I need this. Darn it. Let me tank back. And then, dude, can I... Why does it not get it out? Chemical tank. It's not... Can I ask, how exactly does spatial storage work for AE2? I haven't really messed with that too much. I don't know if I'm the right person to ask. Just craft another one. Honestly, that might be the best response I've heard. We're just gonna do that. Chemical infuser. Just give me another one, please. Thank you. Start. I appreciate the thought there. Okay, so I should have one that's done that I'm not gonna have to mess with. Throw it down. Is that the same one I just had? No, this is the one I want. Get rid of that one. I never want to see it again. Victorious. Input 1, input 2. Output. And then make sure we're not sending anything to the sides. It should be going back into here. This should get the full upgrades. Give me some upgrades. Upgrades. Stack of this. A stack of this. It's 4 a.m. here in Kuwait. Dude, you're a long ways away. Also, that is absurdly late. What are you still doing awake? So we're importing it back in. Uranium hexafluoride. I'm assuming it's working, right? It is definitely working. I think I may have just broke it. No, it's still working. It just gets rid of the... Basically, spatial storage works like a compact machine, basically. Oh, okay. Well, that makes sense. Take an import bus on it. It's like, I could do that too, but I think that crafting a new one was probably the easier way to go. Okay, so then this should be chemical input. Accepting that. And then also outputting there. Boys, I think we did it. Don't get me too excited yet. But dare I say it, I think we did it. That's got full upgrades. That's got full upgrades. Boys, we did it. Woo! Holy smokes. Why was that so difficult? That was so much harder than I expected it to be. That was awful. So I build the pylons, build a thing, sort in a disk, sent to another dimension. Can I access it without putting it back in the world? Building nuclear fission reactors? Absolutely not. I'm not doing that. That would be the end. All right, we got that. Wait. Okay, well, that is all I wanted to get done. It took way longer than I expected, but happy birthday. You all get a long stream. We're gonna call it there. I need to get some food. I want to get some sleep. The import-export step from the previous world was easier. It was so much easier. You're right, but this looks cleaner. Give it credit. It definitely looks cleaner. Other than the one pipe we had to use, it's so much better. And it should be easier to understand, too, what each of the devices need and what each of the processes are. I appreciate you all. Thank you so much for watching. And y'all have a good night. I appreciate you. Bye!